Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great time celebrating this lovely, awesome, family-oriented holiday, Christmas. This is Tanya Barbie of I Am Still a Rose, in spite of it all. In spite of it all. No matter the challenges day in, day out, there is always a way out of a challenge. And we're not supposed to get caught up in the issues of life. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So I want to talk to you tonight about the topic, bitter or better. A coworker who's no longer with us, Shy, I want to give a shout out to you because we talked about bitter or better before you left, and I miss you terribly. But your topic I wrote down, I said, this is a good one. And we get caught up in bitterness because of our pain, because of our hurt, because we haven't gotten through something. And I've always said, you gotta go through it to get to it. So what that means is hang in there, go through that challenge, because on the other side of that challenge is something good. It's a gift. But who told you we're not going to go through challenges? We are definitely going to go through challenges in life. It is a part of life. And what I've experienced and what I'm so happy about is every challenge has brought me closer to God, has brought me closer to myself, and it's made me realize that challenges are temporary, but we have to have the right mindset. So we're going to go through some of these challenges today. Thank you. Hello, cousin. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining. And feel free to join in about this bitterness or better, because many of us have experienced it. Many of us are going through it right now. We're going to go through some examples. I've had many people call me about their pain, their issues. So what I do now is compile a few of those comments with permission and share those with the hopes of helping somebody through their pain. A friend once asked me, why do you do this? It's getting all your business out. Well, if my business can help you with your business, then it's a no-brainer that I'm supposed to do what I do. And I'm in hopes that one day we all come to the realization that we don't have to be bitter. We don't have to stay in that pain, that agony, that anguish of somebody hurting us. Because you can't be your best self if you hung up in bitterness. It just won't happen. So let's go over some of these examples, and if they sting, if they hurt you, if you can feel it just stabbing you, then share it and comment and let me know what you're thinking about. Here are my examples that I have. We are blessed to be a blessing. Yes, cousin, we are blessed to be a blessing. And since I have shared my story, I have been so much more happier in my own life because I'm taking my own advice for starters. And as I live through my stories and share my stories, I always see something that I didn't see the first time, and I can see where I have started healing in ways that I didn't even think was possible. And when somebody says, I love me, when they can be alone their own me time, not have a television on and forgot they even had a television, and they're in within themselves. That's somebody that loves me. And I highly encourage you, if you have never experienced that, start trying to just be in an atmosphere where you are by yourself, all by yourself. No outside influences, no interruptions, just you. And see how it turns out. But if you do it enough, you realize, wow, look at this. I'm an okay person. I'm good. So anyway, let's get to bitter or better. He left you with 2 kids from another woman for another. He left you with 2 kids to be with another woman. They seem to be happy. They even bought a new home, and you're still in the family home that you've been in for 25 years. Everything's run down. And when they pick up the kids, he's in a fancy car. They're waving, and they can't wait to be with their dad in their new home with his new bride, who's much younger. Bitter or better. He beat you since you got married to him, and he got the nerve to be remarried. He too seems to be happy. She seems to be happy, and you have no one. Bitter or better. She left you for another man, and on top of that, he makes more money than you. Bitter or better. You've been slighted for a promotion that you were prepared to get. Bitter or better. She got the lead and you didn't. Bitter or better. She has a bigger following than you, and she's making some money on top of it. Bitter or better. You don't have a good man, or you don't have a good woman at this time, this season. Bitter or better. She's more prettier than you, and she's your best friend. Bitter or better. He drives a better car than you. Bitter or better. He has bigger muscles than you. You're in the gym with him every week. He's lifting 150 pounds. You can barely do 50. All the women are looking at him. Bitter or better. So he's stronger than you. Bitter or better. She's in shape, and you're 260 pounds. Cousin, we gonna say whoa? Bigger or better. The pastor chose her to run the event and not you. Bitter or better. She makes better grades than you. Bitter or better. His wife is more successful than yours. Yours might be on the lazy side. His has got a big career, bringing home the bacon. Bitter or better. Her bank account is bigger than yours. Bigger than yours. We gonna be bitter, or we gonna be better? So these are just a few examples of things that irk us, things that just get into our skin, and we let them get to us because we start comparing. We start wondering, is somebody else's life better than ours? In the case of the husband that left his wife for another wife, they got a better situation, better home, all of that. Can you imagine if you let that bitterness take over and consume your body and your mind and your soul and your spirit, because you're too busy thinking about what they're doing in their home, how much their home cost? Are your kids happier when they're over there versus being with you? Do we want to be bitter, or do we want to be better? In the case where she left you for another man who made more money, are you going to let that burn you up on the inside? Are you going to start doing things to make you a better person, to strengthen everything about you, so that that will be immaterial at some point in your life? Not today, but possibly tomorrow, provided you put in the work so that you will be better. He's stronger than you. I have a nephew, Woodrow, named after my dad. This little boy was 2 years old with muscles. Now he lifts 500 pounds and win awards or whatever they call it. He win prizes for lifting so much weight. And I bet you a little puny man would look at him and say, what do I need to do to get like him? This child has Nigerian background and the Nigerian bloodline. He was born with those muscles. So do you want to spend time focusing on how did he get like that? Or what can I do to be better? Because the problem comes in when we start comparing ourselves to others. And when somebody hurts us, we can't let go of that hurt. They moved on. They're happy. They got it together in their mind. I want to add that in their mindset, they got it together. And you're wondering, how could this happen to me? How did he do this to me? It's now 5 years. How could he do this to me? It's 6 years. I can't believe he hurt me so bad. Now it's 8 years. My life is over. Now it's 10 years. Bitter or better? My cousin says they are happier because you're complaining all the time about the situation. Yeah. And we should not be complaining about somebody's lifestyle or somebody's life after they've left us, after they've closed the door on our relationship. Boy, bye. Girl, bye. When a door closes, do everything in your power to heal so that you can be better and not bitter. Because if you are bitter, 10 years will go by so fast, will fly by so fast that you wouldn't see it coming, because you've been so immersed in your pain and sorrow and agony over this person leaving and moving on. And half the time, we're more concerned about the fact that they're with somebody else, not that they left us, as much as the fact that they're with someone else. Be happy for them. Encourage it. Spend time healing so that you will be better and not bitter. Because when we are bitter, it consumes our mind, our body, our spirit, our family lives, our children, because they see us being better. They see the pain that we're in. Many times they emulate the pain that we're in. The next thing you know, they're cutting up in school. Bitter or better. We have to make a conscious effort to release that pain. Okay, cases where they got the part, they got the lead, and you didn't. God controls all of that. It's not your time. So instead of being bitter, say congratulations, well deserved. And say to yourself, Father, I know my time is coming. I'm happy for her. And let it be. And practice that. We have so much envy and disdain for one another because we think they got something that we didn't get. We think they're doing better than we're doing. They might be doing better than you are, but I guarantee you, your day will come if you have the right attitude and you're not bitter. You become better by having the right attitude about a loss, about somebody leaving you, about somebody hurting you. And that's hard. That's hard to be in a relationship with a man all of your marriage and he has beat you and you have to deal with him for the kids' sake and you all are no longer together. Now he's married with somebody else. They appear to be happy. You're upset. I don't know why, because he was hurting you, but sometimes having somebody in your life is better than nobody. I don't agree with that, but a lot of women do, and I can't judge that. There's I'm sure a method to that madness. But you want to be better, you got to let that go. You have to forgive him for the pain that he has caused you. You have to forgive him for the pain that he has caused you. Because the ultimate goal should be for you to be better, no longer bitter. Bitter causes cancer because we become so stressed. We become so heartbroken that it causes all kinds of physical ailments. And the next thing you know, we are totally broken. Because once you're broken down physically, then mentally you're broken down. Mentally, you start being broken down. Then your body starts breaking down. And the next thing you know, you're just down. And you're constantly complaining. He did this. He did that. I know women who go through a breakup. They're on social media to see what the ex-boyfriend is doing and who he's with. And is she prettier than him? What her? Why does it matter? Why are you following him? Why didn't you delete him? Why didn't you unfollow somebody who has disrespected you? What is the point of holding on to see what he's up to? We give too much energy to our pain. We give too much energy into those who do not even like us in the first place. If somebody has hurt you, they're not warranted your time and your effort and your energy. We want to be better, not bitter. We want to do what we can to be happy and not sad. Yes, we're going to go through ups and downs. I talked one night about the roller coaster ride. It's going to take us through turns, sideways, upward, downward, all the way down, then up. We're going to go through hell. It's part of life. If your heart is still beating, you are going to go through some trials and tribulations. But if you hang on through those trials and tribulations, ride through them, you will begin to glide through them. Then you will begin to soar. And you will see on the other side, wow, I did it. With God's help, with His strength, I got through it. I'm okay. I'm still alive. In spite of, I'm still a rose. In spite of. You don't need to stay in that bitterness because it will take you so far down. And many of us, let me tell you about the promiscuous woman. She's not promiscuous because she want to give it up to everybody she knows or everybody she's coming in contact with. Many times she's very upset at the man who broke her heart. And she's trying to fill that void and to make him pay by being jealous. And she's focused on finding that love again. So what happens when you're looking for love? You find it in all the wrong places and it's consistent. And why do we think we have to give up our bodies in the process? Thinking that that will do it. Whip him in shape, whip him, and he'll be all mine. How can we do that when every woman has the same body parts? How can we whip a person where he no longer has control and he's robotic and all he wants is you? I believe it's impossible. Love is love. Love conquers all. All that other stuff is secondary. It's not as important as many of us think it is. But we get caught up. And we're so broken, we're all over the place. All them soul ties, all tangled, and they're just a mess. Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Judy, Lynette, and Jen, all mixed up. Soul ties. Because we're so broken and bitter and hurt. And hurt people just don't know it, but they hurt other people. So what happens is that bitter man ends up with that bitter woman. And they get together and they get intimate because they're trying to release their pain and sorrow and agony. So they are intimate. They're all into each other. Only to find out later it's just lust. They didn't even get to know each other. They barely knew each other's names, let alone middle names and last names, kids' names, where they live. They just connected. Because it's bitter and bitter getting together. I'm talking to men now, interviewing them about the next book that I'm writing. They're just as broken as we are. And I'm not making a mockery of it. I'm just bringing it to light. Brokenness on both sides. And we're flirting with danger, bitter, or better. What do we want out of life? Where do we want to go? Don't we want to be better? Or we want to keep doing the same things over again and not accomplishing anything but a vicious cycle. It's repetitive because we won't even sit down and take the time to first get to know who we are. What makes us tick? What are my boundaries? What will I accept? What will I not accept? You need to have all of that documented. Just like you do at work, we need to apply some of those same concepts to our own personal lives as we're out here dating. If you're dating somebody and you're ready to get married and they're not ready to get married, what are your boundaries? How long are you going to be with this person? Are you going to be with him for 5 years? And then he turns around and says, I thought I told you, I don't want to be married. But then you've given up 5 years of your precious life. 44-year-old people are dying. 35-year-old people are dying. And we still talking about tomorrow I'm going to say it. Tomorrow I'm going to tell him. I'll let my feelings be known later when he's in a better mood. I don't want to lose this relationship by sharing my boundaries with him. First of all, what I'm learning in a dating class I'm taking, Prepared to be Pursued, I'll give her a shout out. Nikki Arnaldo, she was one of my speakers at my Be the Rose event. And we're doing a whole lot of homework assignments. And one of them is you got to have boundaries. And you got to see what you will accept and what you won't accept. If you don't know yourself, how is that person that you're dating going to know? Bitter or better. If you don't tell them and it doesn't work out, don't be bitter. Focus on being better and analyze what you did wrong to begin with. Don't knock yourself. Just fix yourself so that it won't happen repetitively. You want to make sure you know exactly what you want in a relationship before you go down that path. And you want to make sure that person knows what you want, and vice versa. He may say, I don't want you sleeping over my house. And I don't want you coming unannounced. And I don't want you looking at my phone. And I don't want you at my house at a certain time and answering my phone in my home either. He may tell you up front, and you have to respect what he said. And then you share the same conversation on your end with him. It's a two-way street. But many of us are still broken when we're in a relationship, so we don't know what to do and what to say because we haven't healed. We haven't fixed ourselves. And that's our responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility to fix us. Somebody told me the other day, do I make you happy? No, not the other day, a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Do I make you happy? Dude, I make myself happy. You can add to making me happy, but I'm not looking for you. I wonder, is he going to make me happy today? I wonder what he's going to do to make me happy. No, it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. If there are added plus, but they shouldn't be the sole source of your happiness. And the complaining. I got people I know that I can call right now. I should one time put them on the phone for you. Girl, my head hurt. Girl, my nose hurt. Girl, my leg hurt. I got to go to the doctor. They're going to put me on some new medicine. And then just negativity, 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 negativity. And negativity begets negativity. It doesn't get positivity. How so? We got to change all of that in order to get to better. We got to. Life is so short, and we make it complicated more so than it already is. We make it complicated. I was give you a prime example. On holidays, I'm exhausted because I want to prepare a big meal for my family, my children, and my extended family. And I lay out to China, or I lay out everything, depends, maybe to China, maybe not, but everything looks good. I go all out. And then I'm exhausted at the end of the day. And then I make fuss about it. Y'all didn't help me clean up. I'm tired of doing this. I ain't gonna do this anymore. I'm tired of doing this. And then I said one day, well, I know why I do it, because my mom is getting up there in age. But y'all, I've been saying that since my mom was 65 years old. My mom is 81 years old. I've been doing it all those years. Happily. And then fuss at the end of it. Fuss at the family members because they didn't help. Guess what I'm doing this year? It's just going to be me and baby boy. I'm not doing no big dinner. It's just going to be me and him. And we're going to Royal Farm and get our chicken. And they better be open because they say they open 24 hours. I am going to make a change. If we want to see a change, we got to be that change. Years ago, I would say dinner at 6. People would show up at 8 and I'd be sitting there. Now, at 4, whether you hear or not, dinner is served 4 promptly. If you come straggling in here at 6, 7, 8 o'clock, you get a spoonful of macaroni and cheese. And that's what you deserve. You came here 3, 4 hours late. That's just how it is. So if you want to see a change in somebody, you got to be that change. You cannot dictate to anybody you know, barely your kids. Barely your kids. I had to reevaluate. Now, this is a big one. I like everything in my house perfect. My last child, I can barely get him to take a shower on time. It's hard. It's really hard, y'all. And he has things disorderly. So I was coming in the house fussing every day. Oh, you didn't put this back. I told you. I had to change me. I had to say, put conditions on it. Because I didn't want to lose my mind, and I didn't want to be in no trouble with no little child, and social services is calling me. So I had to make a change, because the boy is making the honor roll. The boy is excelling. His teachers love him. I had to start thinking about he's mannerable. I had to start thinking about, is this a deal breaker? Now, if I'm in a relationship, it is a deal breaker. It is a deal breaker if I'm going to be with somebody who can't be orderly and can't keep his stuff in order. I don't think I could manage that. I don't think I could deal with a relationship like that. So these are things I had to work on. My cousin said, come to Charlotte and be with her. Oh, I'm struggling. I love you, girl. I know you are. My cousin lost her my auntie a few months ago, so I know she's in pain right now. Wow, cousin. So y'all got this. You want to be bitter, or do you want to be better? Because life is short. Life is short. And if somebody has hurt you, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And if you are alone this holiday, my cousin has recently lost her mom. Just think of the fact that I understand. I got it. You used to being with a family member and it's holiday time and they're no longer here. That has got to be a painful experience. I go through the same thing because my daddy is no longer here. So I understand. So I understand your pain if you've suffered through a loss. And this time of year is really hard. But do we want to be bitter? Or do we want to be better by thinking about all the good things that they did for us, for our lives, to make us smile, to make us be that better person, to make us be special, to even be in their good graces, to be around them? Think of those awesome moments that you've had with those that are no longer with you, as opposed to being, because I know somebody who is bitter because they lost their mom and they can't get it. They can't work with it. They can't understand that kind of grief. And it's going on 5 years. So we got to work on that pain and do what we can to release it so that we can be that better person for ourselves, not for anybody else, just for you. Because when you be better, you will attract better. Your kids will be better. Your job will be happy as a result of you being better. Everybody will benefit from you being better. They'll benefit from it. So we have to do whatever it takes to manage that pain, to manage somebody leaving you and moving on with their new spouse, who driving a better car than you and your car keep breaking down. Let me give you an example about something very similar to this. I was recently transitioned from one department to another department at my 9-to-5. And they moved me from an office looking at the Potomac River to a little workstation, a 2x4 workstation. My hips didn't even fit in it. I was knocking down everything off my desk as I went around the corner to sit in that little workstation. I joked to the leaders about it. My coworkers teased me about it. Some laughed at me. Some talked about me behind my back. Some were just picking at me. And I decided, and let me tell you what was going on in my head. I can't believe they put me here. How do you go from there to here? I should say something. Oh, who am I going to talk to? Oh, I should write a letter. They don't want me to write a letter. Oh, they don't want to deal with my letters. I went through that, but I went through it internally. I smiled on the outside and I prayed, because I said to myself, and then my whole demeanor changed on the inside as well as it was on the out. I was smiling on the outside, but I started smiling on the inside because I said my pay grade didn't change. Everything was good on the inside. Nothing had changed. My projects weren't taken away. I was still working with the great people that I worked with. So what's my problem? I just gotta either lose weight because my hips was knocking everything off the desk, needed to do that anyway, and just chill and continue doing my job to the best of my abilities while I continue to smile every day and joke about it. When people would come out there to come to meet me from the Pentagon and we had to have a meeting, I was like, you can't come in here now. Don't come in here to my efficiency. I'll take you to the conference room. And we would laugh about it because they knew where I used to sit and we'd be done with it. Well, 8 months later, the boss says, when we moved again, the boss says, You're not going to that workstation that we originally told you you were going to. You're going to the office in the corner. I said, okay. Oh, it didn't. I said, which office? I mean, where? Where you want me to go? Because I had already moved my things to the new workstation. And she said, oh, you didn't know? It's this office, so-and-so, so-and-so. I said, okay, thank you. And I never even saw the place because it was like a weekend. And we didn't go up for another 2 weeks. And when I finally went up there to move my things from that cubicle to that new office, I opened the door and it had my name on it and my title and everything. And when I opened the door, I said, wow. I said, wow, God, I see how you work. I see how you operate. With a little, I managed it. As he gave, and I had the right attitude. My point in all this is, I didn't cuss out anybody. I didn't write any letters. I didn't have a bad attitude. I was forever saying, I'm thankful, Father, that you have given me a good job and my pay didn't change. My office space may have changed, but my pay didn't change. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you, Father. And I said that often. When I knocked stuff off the desk, I would laugh and pick it up, put it back on my desk, and tried to lose a few pounds while I was at it. And my point in that is, and the biggest part, those people, listen to this. Every one of those that laughed at me are now in workstations. I want to repeat that. Everyone that picked at me, ooh, I can't believe they put you down here. Oh, look at you. I can't believe that. All of them who did that, while I smiled at them, oh, it's okay. I'm fine. They're all in little workstations like this. Can't even move. They got to move in there like that. So my point in that, as cousin says, attitude determines altitude. Thank you, cousin. Attitude determines altitude. Even when they told me I sat there, okay, where is the office? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. And when I got in, I even sent them a thank you card. Thank you so much for this blessing. I really appreciate it. And I continue to perform to my utmost and do my job and do it well and do it to the best of my ability. And that's what we need to do across the board. If the pastor picks somebody else and not you, don't be, hey, pastor, oh, I can't stand him after what he done. He didn't have to pick her over me. Let it go. Your time is coming, because when we have that good attitude, he's going to see the next time, wow, I should get Sister Barbie to do it next time. Wow, I like her attitude. Don't you think they're observing us? They're watching us to see how we're going to respond to this situation or that situation. Even our exes are observing us. My ex told me, how can you be so happy? Dude, you don't run nothing. God runs stuff. I'm happy because he's sustaining me. I'm going to be okay because I got God. You ain't running nothing. I'm not going to be broken down, big old ball in the middle of my hair, which I've gone through before, a big old empty space right here due to pain, sorrow, anguish. Come on. Bitter or better. You must be thankful over a few things to be ruler over many things. Thank you for that scripture. Cousin said it. So those that are jealous are comparing themselves to somebody who seems to be doing better than them because they seem to have more than you do, just be thankful for what you have at this moment and love it like you have exactly what you want, and watch those blessings flow. I'm here to tell you, I am here to tell you, it is so much better to be better than bitter. And in time, you can get there. Cousin says, it don't matter which human is watching you. God is watching and running things. He is the reason why the pastor chose her over you. It's okay. That door closed when the husband left and married somebody else. God got something better planned for you. It's only temporary that you're going to be by yourself. But while you're by yourself, get yourself better and prepared for the new love of your life. And this one's going to be the kicker, because he's going to treasure you, unlike that one that left you. But if you don't get yourself together, you will be like that woman that's running around with this man, that man, trying to get somebody to love you, trying to get somebody to marry you. All of this happens in due time when you are properly aligned with God, our Heavenly Father, when you are you know who you are and you start loving on yourself. Everything is going to fall right into place. Even outside of those obstacles, eventually everything is going to be lined up. It's only a matter of time. But you can't be bitter in the process, because you will miss that loving person, because he'll walk right past you. She'll walk right past you. So what if she left you? Girl, bye. Good riddance. And I know that's easier said than done. I just want you ready for that love of your life. If a door closes, it is not your place to try to reopen it. It is not your place to beg somebody to come back. It is not your place to fix what is broken. It is not your place. Bitter or better. We want better. We want our lives to be the best, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. My cousin says, it don't matter which human is watching you. God is watching and running things. I think I just read that one, but I want you to hear that clearly. He's watching you. He's watching you. You can't give up. Woe is me. I can't believe this happened to me. I can't believe this after all I did for him. Y'all remember Waiting to Excel? She said, I set you up and I left my career. I didn't even have a career. It was all about you. Whose fault is that? Who told you to give up your whole world for your husband? You could have been doing your thing while you helping him do his thing, because it still didn't keep him in your life. He didn't jump up and down and feel glorified that you gave up your life to support him to become a doctor or engineer or lawyer. He's like, whatever. I'm going with the accountant now. I'm taking home the secretary. And you're like, but what about all that I did for you? Who cares? Typically, they don't care. They really don't care. Bitter or better. Let's choose to be better. Focus on improving you. Focus on improving ourselves. That incident with the office, I couldn't believe it. My daughter works there. She had this big office with a window. And now she's coming to visit her mom, and she's all caught up in a workstation where her hips is knocking everything off her desk. But it was a humbling experience for me. And I now treasure all humbling experiences because it makes you feel grateful for what you have and not take it for granted. Because that beautiful view of the water, I never had time to even look at it. I would go walk out there, but I never stood at the window and said, wow, look at this. And I lost it. So make sure you spend more time focusing on you. I'm not saying being selfish, but many of us don't even know who we are and what we want. And those that are single, we have homework to do. Don't just be readily available. Oh, you thinking about me today? No, they're not thinking about you. That man on his job. Don't even ask anybody, you thinking about me? No. What are you thinking about? Get you right. Get you right. And watch how things just unfold so that you won't be bitter. You will be better. Self-care is not selfish. Thank you, cousin. We got to take care of ourselves. Get in those bathtubs. Sit in there long enough to burn a candle and just meditate. Meditate even on, I did this today. I could have done this better. And tomorrow I'm going to do this even better. Spend time doing that. Spend time trying to work on you. And that way you don't have time, you don't have no time, never time to be focusing in on somebody that has hurt you, somebody that has broken your heart. Because they're not thinking about you. They have moved on. Now they might think about you when who they had and they're broken up with, but that's just to get back with you physically for a minute. And then they're no longer interested in you again. We got to stop being a doormat for men to just drop themselves on us any time of the day just to say, I'm not lonely. I got a man. No, if he's temporary like that, no, you don't have a man. You have a small piece of a man, maybe a big piece of a man. But nonetheless, it's not him. It's a little piece or a big piece of a man. And let's not get it confused with love. And you will know love the moment you love yourself. You will know it. You will know love the moment you love yourself. And then you won't be bitter because you will be better. You will be absolutely better. What you doing? Crap, I'm working. Yes, cousin. Somebody calling you every 5 minutes. What you doing? You at work now. You on your 9 to 5 doing your job, and somebody has nothing better to do but to call you on your job. What you doing today? If we love ourselves, we don't do that. We're not desperate for a relationship. We're not desperate for a man or a woman because we are so good with who we have become. I didn't say who we are. I said who we have become, because that means we're doing the work to get better. We're doing the work. We're not being complacent. It's the holidays. I don't have a boyfriend. And I have never had so much peace in my life. When I go to my son's games, I get bitter for 2 minutes back in the day. because I was always sitting in there in the gyms by myself with couples and their whole families. And it hit me, my baby doing good with just me and God. We good. God has got this. I won't be okay. Now the women be moving away from me, so I won't be sitting next to their husbands, or they might squeeze in between all these hips and they come on between us. They were on the other side, but now they switch. I get all of that. And that used to hurt my feelings, but now I'm focused. I'm focused on that boy, that young man of mine, getting some scholarships for somebody's college and possibly somebody's high school. And I'm helping him to understand that he's no longer a little boy. He's growing into a young man, a teenager, and he's got to get it together. And I got to help him get it together, whether his dad is there or not. So I've turned that pain into focus, doing what I need to do to prepare him for his future. So I no longer get upset when I'm going in the gym by myself. I no longer get upset that I'm 5 minutes late and nobody was there to be there before I got there. I don't get upset anymore because I'm doing 95% of what I can do, whether his dad is there or not. So that's my focus. No bitter, just better. My cousin says her baby looks just like me. Okay, really? So we got to do better, okay? We got to do better. So when you get off of this call tonight, this live, I want you to say to yourself, I got to do better. I want you to think, do some homework, think about everything in your life that has hurt you, all the things that hurt you. And I want you to look at that list, write them down, look at it, think about it for a minute or two, and then I want you to cross them out. I want you to counter each one of those negativities with a positivity. I want you to challenge them. For instance, husband was a bigamist, but now I am finding good people who truly love me for who I am. God is just dropping them. From a bigamist who can make you really bitter to, wow, love has surrounded me. So you see what I'm saying? We went from a bigamist who can make you feel just to go there. I could do a live on that whole situation, but you'd have to read the book, The Little Girl Inside. True story. A bigamist that I married, or I have nothing but love surrounding me. Now, that first statement is going to make me bitter even right now if I keep talking about it, because I'll relive everything that happened to me and I'll start crying and I'll start saying, he did this, he did that, he did. I am surrounded by love. Bitter, the bigamist, better, love. That's what I want you all to do tonight. Bitter or better. And focus on what you want to be going forward to 2020 and make a change. Stop complaining. Stop, woe is me. Stop being hurt on the job. It's just a job. You getting a paycheck. They don't owe you nothing else but the paycheck. They're not your friends. They're not for you to go take home at night and go out to dinner, go to the clubs. They're just co-workers and bosses. Don't do your job and see how much they love you. That's your test. But don't do that test. Just focus on the mission. Get the job done. And you won't get caught up in, she was talking about me. She was picking at me. Stay on the mission, and I guarantee you your life will change even on your job. Even if they're talking about you. As far as the young lady whose children are going to a nice home with their daddy, with the new wife, don't worry about that. You just make sure your home is in check. You're doing the best you can. You continue to do the best you can. You keep smiling. You keep doing better by yourself. And all that's going to change. Everything is going to change. Everything will change. But you got to start. You got to make that difference. You got to make a decision that no more of this. Those that are having a hard time dating, sometimes you need to pull back. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you're pushing too much. Maybe you're a little anxious. Again, when you love on yourself, you're not going to be pushing it. If they don't call you back, boy, bye. Girl, bye. It's okay. Don't push nothing. Because what you're pushing is not for you. Only thing you can push is you to be the best person that you can be. Better and not bitter. Better and not bitter. So write that list of all the things that have hurt you. All of the things, and just do it. Just let it. Just do a brainstorm and just let it flow. You might cry while you're doing it. It's an exercise that I've done. I'm gonna publish these exercises at some point. I just can't wait for retirement. Lord have mercy. We're gonna have so much fun. But write it all out, and then cross it out. And replace it with a positive, like I did. Bigamous love is surrounding me. Because if I continue doing that, well, that's what I've been doing. As I have done that in my life, I have cleansed all of that pain and sorrow. And stop talking to your girlfriends. Half of them don't care. Half of them may be even jealous. And they like it when you're hurt. I think a lot of us need to narrow in on those that truly love us, especially as we get older, and stop having 5 and 10, 15 girlfriends, because more than likely only 2 really love you. And you don't need that entourage, because many of them are resenting you anyway. And that's the problem. We have so many people around us all the time, pulling us in different directions, that we don't even know who we are, let alone learn to love ourselves, because we're pulled in all. Stop being pulled. I have made that determination. I am not being pulled, and I'm learning to say no. Somebody wanted me to sing at a nursing home. Yes, I love doing volunteer work at nursing homes. I was exhausted. I was doing too much. And I'm only one person. And a son is doing as much as I am, but he doesn't drive. So I got to take him all these places. And I can't leave him because he's only 14. So one person. We have to do what works for us. And we won't know if we don't start working with us. Turn that television off. Stop comparing your lives to Atlanta housewives. My daughter said, "Mommy, I want a gender reveal party." I said, "A who?" It's a gender reveal party. I said, to know what the baby gonna be, boy or girl? Yes, mommy, everybody's doing it. And then we'll have a baby shower next. So I need your help with that because it might be a little expensive. I don't know if we get gifts or not. I said, hold up. Atlanta housewives can have gender reveal parties because the network is paying for them. Who's going to pay for yours? Well, mommy, I thought you and dad will help. And I'm going to pay for a bunch of people to show up, buy some food and some decorations and a room rental for y'all to figure out, to guess whether it's a boy or a girl. I'm sorry, I'm not contributing to that. We're not doing that. I'm not going to be a part of that. That's for rich people who have money to waste. Okay, mommy. We didn't have that for my little Noah. We didn't. We get caught up on reality. We get caught up on HDTV, these big, beautiful homes. We get mad because we ain't in one. In due season. But don't compare your life to everybody else's. Just focus on your blessings and watch how God rewards you for that. Watch how God rewards you for that. Y'all, I was so broken. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I was like, wow, what do I do? And while I was broken, everybody around me seemed to be doing really well. And that made me feel worse. I even thought they were like, girl, look at my new car. Girl, look at my new house. Girl, look at my new ring I bought for myself. Girl, this is a right-hand powerful ring. I heard all of that. Girl, I just got a big job. Girl, it's $20,000 raise. And I'm just sitting there like everywhere I turned. Oh, it was like, oh my gosh. But once I started focusing on Tanya Barbie, as Sonia, hey Sonia, stay on your mission. Thank you for the blessing. Stay on your mission. Your mission ain't hers. My mission ain't my cousin's. My mission is not Sonia's. My mission is not Jerome's. My mission is not Deborah's. I got to focus on my mission. God has blessed each one of us with our own mission. How dare I want your mission? Because yours look better than mine. I don't know what God has in store for me, but I'm so busy worrying about what you're doing. Bitter or better. Let's focus on making our lives better for us, for us, for us. And in that, I'm closing. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me tonight. This has been awesome. Bitter or better. I just love it. I plan to be better, and I know you do too. I am still a Rose, and so are you. Please join me on Anchor podcast, Barbie's Real Talk. Like me on I Am Still a Rose on Facebook, please. Please look at our site, TanyaBarbie.com. We have most beautiful t-shirts and other products. And we have an awesome men's line. John B. Clement, who is on tonight. John, thank you. He is my partner in crime and my awesome graphics artist. He's awesome. Cousin Amantha and I are going to do another podcast, and we're working on a name and all that good stuff now. So a lot of good stuff because she's a minister. So from my perspective and her perspective, it should be really fun. So a lot's coming down the pipe. And then we have Be the Rose. So save the date, September the 20th. I'm sorry, September 19, 20. Is our next Be the Rose event. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for partnering with me and share this video if you know somebody that is struggling with being better or being better. But we need to focus our best on being the best person that we can be at all times, because we are here for purpose. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. God ain't done with us yet. So why should we be done with ourselves? Why should we be spending time being bitter about somebody hurting us, or somebody leaving us, or somebody calling us names or talking about us, when we could be spending that precious time being better about ourselves, fixing ourselves, fixing what's broken and we know it's broken. So anyway, I want to thank you all for joining. Please share, please comment, please let me know how you feel about what I'm saying. And don't forget to like me on I Am Still a Rose on Facebook, Instagram, I am Tanya Barbie, Twitter, I Am Still a Rose. Tanya Barbie is all over the place. So join me and connect, because this is a movement. This is a movement. We want to be better. We want to be that best Rose that we can be. And we can do it together. We can do it together. Thank you all for joining. I love you. I Am Still a Rose. This is Tanya Barbie. Oh, and see me on Sunday at WBGR. I might have a special guest, but I'll be there at 5:30 p.m. Facebook Live. All righty. See you next time. Thank you. Good night now.